gift to save me from the same mistake. I keep your words near my heart, hoping to find a way inside the loving part. It won't be long, my strength will come. It's been deep down all along, not all at once. My strength will come, but I'm not wrong. I can feel it coming, 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 coming. I can feel it coming. I was thinking, overthinking. What does it matter that I couldn't see? Let it go. I put forgiveness in the air, hoping that if I start, my heart will follow me. It won't be long, my strength will come. It's been deep down all along, not all at once. My strength will come, but I'm not wrong. I can feel it coming, 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 coming. I can feel it No, it won't be long. My strength will come. It's been deep down all along, not all at once. No, no, no. Oh, I feel it. I can feel it. No, it won't be long. I can feel it. Won't be long. I can feel it. No, it won't be long. I can feel it. No, it won't be long. No, it won't be You make me wanna stop, settle down, stop going out, stop leaving town. You're everything I need, baby. stop, settle down, stop running round roots in the ground. You're everything I need, baby. Make me wanna stay, order and go. Tell a friend he's Superman. You're everything I need, baby. You're everything I need, everything I need, everything I need. You're everything I need, everything I need, everything I need. You're everything I need, everything I need, everything I need. You're everything I need, everything I need, everything I need. There's coffee in the coffee maker. Expectations. A dream's supposed to get you through. I put my money on you. My hard-earned money on you. I put my money on you. It's about time you did the same thing too. Who told you that you feel ready? Or that you shouldn't need to ask for help? I understand your load is heavy, but you've got to stop lying to yourself. I put my money on you. Ooh, every penny on you. Yeah. I put my money on you. Put my money on you. It's about time you did the same thing too. Open your eyes. You've got the heart, the love, the drive. Busy knocking at the door, but you've got the key. I put my money on you. It's about time you did the same thing too. Every penny wasn't drinking like you're probably thinking. I don't know why I laugh at everything you say. Should've stepped outside, lost in your eyes. I'll spend tomorrow wishing I had walked away. I'm better than this, I'm smarter than this, I'm cooler than this, I'm funny, damn it, I don't really understand it. No, I'm better than this, I'm smarter than this, I'm cooler than this, I'm funny, damn it, I don't really understand it. What y'all doing to me? What y'all doing to me? Got me high up and out of hand. What y'all doing to me? What y'all doing to me? What y'all doing to me? Got me high up and out of hand. What y'all doing to me?
Sting? We're good to go. Okay.
I dream about you, sing. No, I'm not crazy, but dreaming eyes aren't built to be. I keep my distance, but the universe insists on having at me. Guess who we ran into today? I'm better than this, I'm smarter than this, I'm cooler than this, I'm funny, damn it, I don't really understand it. No, I'm better, I know I'm smarter, I'm cooler than this, I'm funny, damn it, I don't really understand it. What y'all doing to me? What y'all doing to me? Got me high up and out of hand. What y'all doing to me? What y'all doing to me? shit to do, and we both know paradise is waiting for the cue. So come on, baby, come on over. Come on, come on over, come on. We can get down to the break of dawn. Come on, come on over, come on. We can get oh. Come on over, come on. I've been bringing coffee by way, listening to you dish about her and one before. I've been awake whenever you call, saying things like, no, it's no trouble at all. Echoing, don't you compromise, don't you compromise. You deserve better, baby. Finding a way to
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Could I please have your attention? Aivakaline. Hello, good evening. Testing, testing, testing. Abakanje. On Dimia. Testing, testing, testing. Are we good? Can you hear me? Okay. Ndiphinde ndithethe ne? Do you want me to say testing, testing? Okay, I mean, ndifuna change back. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, test. Ayikho ne?
I'm not missing my chance on a guessing game. Got my pride in the backseat. I don't care if you're on to me. Bump some Erica and break out the champagne. Skip the bullshit in between. I don't care if you're on to me.
Give me a coin. Please get my good side.
I'm gonna get out of town. Don't know when I'll be back around. I'm gonna get out of town. Don't know when I'll be back around. I can't stay too long. It's taking all my energy to smile and to breathe. I can't stay too long. The wind is strong and I'm breathing, holding on beside you. From the beginning, I studied your strong.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Could I please have your attention? Good evening. Could everyone please try and find a seat? We're about to start. And could I please take this moment to call all our guests, our panelists, to go up on stage, please?
You give me riches and sweetness. I never knew that I could feel like this. And you still wonder how I felt for you, how I felt for you, how I felt for you. And you still wonder how I felt for you.
Could I please call upon Jonathan to come up on stage? Jonathan from Standard Bank. Kodwa, sihlale phansi ba?
Okay.
Okay, Nkosi.
Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Could I please kindly ask that we please get seated as we're about to start? Can we please take our seats? Do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We're just waiting for one panelist, and he's just parking quickly. 2 minutes.
Are they fun?
Wow.
But I need to juice us out.
Don't cough.
We thought so. You do look like a banker. Welcome.
How's it?
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to our first Market Access Expo. My name is Dumi, surname Flask, and I will be directing the program for you this evening. Just to start off, for our opening and welcome, we would like to call upon MBDA representative. Mr. Luvuyo, please come up on stage.
Is it evening time? Yeah, good evening, everyone. How are you? Are we good? I haven't tasted anything yet. Just a declaration. Good evening to the panelists. We're looking forward to your wisdom this evening. See, I went there. My name is Luvuyo Bangazi. I work here in this beautiful place. But I was asked this morning as a plan B to come chat to you. Because they couldn't get the big guy. I am a big guy. But I think before I get anywhere and I start with my prepared speech, which I wrote while I was sitting there, I think it's important that you meet the people that actually put things like this together. It's never management, believe me. So where's the chief innovator, Oyam? There we go. This is Oyama Vantu. He comes up with stuff like this. And he convinces everyone, and we follow him. So please give me a round of applause. Oyama. We have amazing ladies in the department. Asanda, where's Asanda? She's probably hiding. There she is. She's busy at the back there. Asanda, Uzoleka, where's Zo? Zo is somewhere. The ladies work at the MBDA, guys. Zoleka and Bulali, who does all the media and communications, and the rest of the 40-odd people at the MBDA. We are really interested in SMME growth. It is important to us because it's important for the economy of the city. We know that the journey of an entrepreneur is often long, lonely, uphill, but when you get to the top, you have lots of friends. And we believe that it's important for us to create a network, a community of people, of like-minded people, a community of sellers and buyers, to not only to encourage one another, but to support one another. So we hope that with what we're putting on today, all of these amazing exhibitors here will get to share war stories, will get to share successes and challenges, so that one doesn't have to suffer and pay the school fees that one has already paid, and we can all grow together. It is important for the city's economy. Everyone saw the papers this morning. We're losing money. We cannot afford to go backwards and other cities grow at our expense. Nelson Mandela Bay entrepreneurs are not lacking on ideas. They are not lacking on creativity. Even though funding may be a challenge, I think what people are asking for is an opportunity and an access to the market. And we know that it's not easy. And as the MBDA, as a development agency, we carry a development mandate. We hope and we trust that you will use this opportunity, and we can build on this opportunity. We can build on this platform, and hopefully with the partners such as the Studio Market, locally yours, and many others who are here, that we can continue and build on this and make it an annual initiative, but not only to come and talk on stage, but to actually support. It's almost December, so there are lots of gift ideas around here, and I'm certainly going to be making one or two of those. So I encourage you to relax, feel welcome, spend as much time, as much money as you can. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you very much. So just to forward the program just a little bit and not take up much of your time, I'd really like to start off by introducing the local producers and exhibitors that are here this evening. Just before we tell you why we're here, and do they mind just coming up and just so that everybody can see them? I see some faces, they don't really like it, but can the exhibitors please come up just for 2 minutes? So the audience can see them, and I can just introduce a few of them to you. Amanda Beautician, Amish, do you mind coming forward? Could I please call up Oyamo Vandu as well? So ladies and gentlemen, these are the faces behind the beautiful brands that you've just seen here this evening. I see we've got a lot of gin, and everyone is still behaved, and meaning that we haven't spent enough time at the gin tables. But this evening we've got a variety of exhibitors, starting from Amish Healthy Skin. There she is. Amish Healthy Skin that you saw earlier on. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. El Sauna Solutions. And then we've got fabulously Twinning Catering. And then we've got G Bravura. We've got Gourmet Treats. And then we've got my favorite, the Green Fairy products. Oh, there she is. I'm going through to Iana Gin and Kanya Candles at the back by the Studio Market. Kara's Couture. Wande Craft Gin. Chem Gin. Maliche Designs. The audience favorite, NG Brands. Periwinkle. My personal favorite, Seed Bombs. SS21 Gin. Tea's Delight. Thuli's Art. Yana Indigenous Healing. And that's about it. My audience, Betunana, these are proudly producers and manufacturers from Egqeberha, which is in the Eastern Cape. Ladies and gentlemen, you can have a seat. Thank you very much. So I'd like to take the opportunity to tell you a bit of the background on how we got here this evening. I'm standing no Oyama, representing the MBDA, and myself, Utumi, with the Studio Market. So how this journey all started, I'm an entrepreneur. It started off a business literally flying off a plane, getting thrown off a plane, and literally had to build the wings or the parachute while landing. Being an entrepreneur, and the story behind for me is very personal. I have a gin, I produce a gin, Iana, which is named after my 3-year-old daughter. So when COVID hit, I don't even think my business was a year old yet. And it was the scariest time ever. Mr. Mbanga, that just left the stage now, Luvuyo, expressed how scary of a journey this is. What challenges entrepreneurs face going through this journey. I come from a background of corporate, about 20 years in the alcohol industry, so I thought, well, I might as well do what I know. Go try do what you love and love what you do, and I thought, well, I might as well make gin while I'm at it. So there's a range of products that are not, or entrepreneurs that are not here this evening, that will be carrying this expo on through next year, March and June and December. So guys, please support local. Local is lacquer. But I'd really like to give the mic to Oyama to really go in depth on how this journey started, what the vision is for the Market Access Expo for the entrepreneurs.
Good evening, everyone. Igama ngu-Oyama Vanto. I work at the MBDA. Spotlight is not my thing, no? And I haven't been in the corner over there. So I sit in a position where young creative entrepreneurs come and talk to me, right? It's an awkward position to be in because they bring all kinds of things that they feel the city has to do A, B, C, and D. Where are the solutions? Where are the funding opportunities? Sometimes it can get a bit frustrating for me too, because sometimes I don't know what to plug you in, where to say go to, etc., etc. It gets very frustrating. But I'm not one to sit and complain. I find solutions. There's always a way. But for me, most importantly, I figured I can't do this by myself. I need everyone. I need the public sector. I need the private sector. Because I think we are in a position where we have to share what is the blueprint for connecting all of the dots into tourism, into growth in our businesses, etc. So I figured, if I can't fund the local business ideas that are coming to me, and we're saying, young people, you must go out there and do for yourself, and I feel, okay, let's then create a conversation platform that is not just a conversation only. The panels on stage, I personally selected people that I feel will make a contribution to saying, this is how we can navigate for our businesses and for growth. If the move is saying, small businesses need all kind of support, rhetoric and narrative and indaba sometimes serve no purpose, right? So I said, if I'm gonna do this expo, Market Expo, I need to then find a way of doing it right. It needs to be impactful, it needs to be effective, and my team, the marketing team that I work with, the beautiful, amazing ladies, I get that sometimes I can drive them insane because I want things to go the way they are in my head. And sometimes it's very difficult for me to express that. So when I yell at Asanda, when I yell at Zolek, and I have an angry face, but they understand why. So this journey began when I met Utumi a long time ago, right? As another young entrepreneur looking for help. Many, many, many years ago. Like many people in this room that I've met many, many years ago. In the conversation, I've watched her grow, right? My responsibility as a public servant. I'm not high above, I serve people. So I'm on the ground. So as a public servant, it's my responsibility to encourage, to motivate, to guide. Even when sometimes you need money from me and I don't have, I still need to make you feel when you leave my office, you leave empowered. That's the mission. That's why I'm here. That's my responsibility. So I met her long ago. She was younger then. Much, much younger. Much. And I was younger too. Much, much younger. So when I met with her and we talked, we spoke, we found synergies and energies that says, how do we help others? Because she didn't come just for herself. She came to say, how can we make things work systematically for others that are just like me in the business, not sure where to go, what to plug in, how to grow, how to access market, how to speak to tourism, etc. So my responsibility with her, we went on a journey of finding the networks and the connections and the questions and the answers, the successes and the failures. I also fail too. I fail monumentally when I fail, because when I go in all the way through. So in building this thing, and then I had my aha moment. Okay, young businesses are coming, right? And the city and the country is saying the young businesses are the way to go, but no one wants to have these conversations that then begin to unpack how to structure the support. It's there. I can name a list of departments that you all know of. So it means that there's a mandate that is carried by all of these departments, right? Why are we still here? You know, when the economy is bad, for black people it's worse. I'm gonna repeat that, because I mean it. When the economy goes bad, for black people, it gets worse. So for me, I need to make sure I put in systematic approaches in helping young black businesses in particular, but not excluding any others. I'm saying that we need to be effective and efficient in ensuring that there's a way we can all access resources. We all need help. And if you're saying young businesses, small businesses are the way to go, SMME development is not only construction. So in my journey with Tumi and many others in the room that I've walked the journey with, my biggest hustle, I'm going to say hustle, to be very nice to my seniors, has been to convince that SMME development, it's not only construction workers. I take nothing from construction workers, but sometimes the efforts being put in construction is not balanced with the effort being put in the other SMME development. So I then said, okay, let me put these SMMEs on my managers' faces so that tomorrow when you're not here, I go to them, I say, Mr. Bangazi, there's an SMME program I would like to do, then he understands where I'm coming from, right? So I didn't do this by chance, I was purposeful. So the journey that has landed us here comes from many things we've tried in the past, the many failures and successes, but me saying, at the end of all of these things, let's then have a consistent platform. My CFO, it can be today and it ends. Ne? My CFO is sitting right there. That's the person that deals with the money issues. And I love that she's also in the room. So I want this space and conversation to continue every quarter for now. So the next one, I'm committing I take it back. I would like to have the next one in March, and the following one in June, and the following one in September, and another one in December, to keep the momentum going, purely for conversation, for network, for sharing of skills, for inviting corporate to share what are the formulas and the strategies to serve people who have nothing. You must remember, to Standard Bank, your audience come from a background where we don't own our means of production, right? So in the inner city CBD, I know a lot of young businesses who rent spaces, but I'm saying transformation without ownership is diabolical. It's not truly serving what it means to be supporting young emerging businesses. We gotta get to a space where there's a lot of buildings in the inner city. CFO, my CEO, probably watching online. There's a lot of old buildings in the inner city that I still feel we can turn these around. Look behind you. Imagine if we had factories and we're making these things in our own spaces, in our own inner city, transform building by building. So there's a lot more we can do. So we got through this journey, through these conversations and trials and errors, and me figuring out maybe the best platforms to create a stage like this and keep it consistent so that even those that I'm calling out to come and engage, they run away. It's going to come a time where they feel like I need to go back to that stage I was called in to have a conversation. So it's a start. It's the first. I've called a lot more people to come and engage. So a lot more said, I'm not too sure. But I'm saying, but I'm sure it's your mandate. So it still is Friday. Okay, it is what it is. But next one that we're going to do, I'm still going to go out. I'm not going to be disappointed or despondent. I need to call people out to come and engage. We need to share a formula. We need to share a blueprint because we got to grow businesses. That long-winded response, I'm sorry for that. I'm very passionate about what I'm doing. That's the whole story, that how we got into the stage and how I would like to keep and maintain this stage. Even if I'm no longer at the MBA, I still would like to see this stage continuing and growing and bringing in more businesses, more products, because we have a lot. Some of the things that I'm saying here, I did not know existed until I had a call out. Then I was shocked that we actually have so many beautiful products hidden behind the different areas where the people are. So I'm making my personal mission to find them, go out, find, bring them. But don't just bring them out into this platform, into these stages, making sure that I have a solid panel that will guide, that will coach, that will honestly share. Like, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Honestly and truly share what's the strategy, what's the formula, how do we grow, how do we expand. So I think the more effort we put in small businesses, the much better for the economy. Once again, before I leave, when things go bad economically, black people get it the worst. Thank you.
Thank you, Oyama. As an entrepreneur and knowing the struggles of smaller business, upcoming businesses, and the importance of businesses for economy, I'd really like this evening, I've attended numerous expos, invitations from stakeholders, with promises, with answers. I'd really like to take the MBDA on, with Luvuyo, with Oyama, that really, if we have these conversations, can we please leave this hall with answers and not with promises. These have been the longest journeys for us. If you'd hear the stories behind these brands, as beautiful as they are, you would not imagine the road it's taken for us to get here. So we're done. I'd really absolutely love not to candy coat everything. I'm gonna have a roaming mic. We're gonna have a conversation, a raw conversation on where, how, and when. And I really hope we get answers, because coming here, spending time, these entrepreneurs or even our guests could be doing something better. It is such an unfortunate read that I read from the Herald that we're losing money, where all of us here, 19 of us, is exactly what we need. I think Standard Bank is going to hear from it. How do we get funding? Where do we get money? How and when do we talk to? We don't know who to talk to, and I'd really like to thank the MBDA again for giving us this platform to be able to raise these questions. Right now, I'm going to take this opportunity to have these conversations with our panel, directed by myself, obviously. We've got Annalise. No, let me stand right at the back. So tonight, we've got Annalise Botha from Locally Yours Market. We've got Andrew Stewart, chairperson of Discover Mandela Bay. That's exciting. We'd really like to be in those spaces and discover Nelson Mandela Bay, Gqeberha, definitely. We've got Standard Bank. We've got Jonathan, also known as John T. And then we've got Andre, my absolute favorite, from DTIC. And we've got Siabulela Zondani of Jockey and Horse Agripreneurs, if I'm pronouncing that. Guys, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the panel tonight. This conversation, I think mostly, it would be fair enough if it's led by the entrepreneurs. So posing questions, because I've got my own questions, but I don't really want to close the door to you guys out there. If you've got questions, I'll have the mic roaming. I'll come to the back that you can pose your questions to our guests as well. Is your mic working? Definitely. Annalise, I'm going to give you the opportunity to really tell us a story behind Locally Yours Market. I've read about it. I've read the beginnings of your market, where it started. I'd really like to know why you started the market. It's really similar to what I aspire to be and run a market, because you're also developing and growing and giving a platform basically to other local entrepreneurs in the Bay. So I'd really like you to take this opportunity right now. Please tell us about your business and basically why you started it and where you are and where you're going.
Yes, I'm allowed to backtrack. Hi, everybody. Firstly, I was blown away by the brands. I've only seen the brands on paper, and this evening I've seen them myself. And you need to take a bow, because it's goosebump stuff. It's amazing. So my own career, it's a bit of insider trading. We were with the same company for a long time. We never met. No. But I was very blessed to be lured by the big bright lights. I went off to Joburg with British American Tobacco. And if you know the company, they are very big on consumerism and trends. And my career just followed one after the other, and I found myself for 20 years consulting on consumer trends and how to get people to buy brands, which is very interesting, considering the average South African has to be exposed to a brand 37 times before they commit financially. Weird. So that talk about impulse purchases and all of that, not really. And a life event brought me back to home, not to PE, brought me home 10 years ago, and my life had to start again. So I, at that stage, had got my degree at the age of 45. I was trying to encourage my matric son to sit down and study with me. I was alone at the table for the first 6 months until he realized, well, maybe he should pull out a book. And the following year, my husband had a stroke. And we decided that's it, game over. And we left the path and we started a journey, came back to PE, and I had to do something. And my daughter said, Mom, you're going to go mad without your laptop. I was a complete corporate junkie. And so I started beading, and I started a company called Calm. Calm stands for Carl, Annalise, Lauren, and Matthew, which is my husband and my 2 children and me. And when that brand was exposed, I was very blessed to be signed by a very big publication to supply them online. I decided it was time to give back. And when I suggested to people, let's start a market for handmade products in the Eastern Cape, because I was amazed at the quality, people laughed at me until I met Oyama. And his favorite saying is, it starts with a conversation. And I came to see him, and I said, this is what I want to do. And he said, how can I help you? And I said to him, support me. I don't need your money, I just need your support. And next year we will celebrate our 5th birthday. I did the math. Through the help of the tramways, Oyama, Asanda, Ndiswa, Zoleka, and all the amazing people, even with COVID, where we couldn't trade for 14 months. Please bear in mind, we had 193 days where not 1 cent was available to us because we couldn't trade as entrepreneurs, and nobody was giving us answers. We still managed, over the past 5 years, to have 53 markets, which includes pop-ups, online markets, because we tried everything. And 2 years ago, we opened a shop thanks to COVID. So the good news story from COVID, if there is one, is we opened a shop, and the shop has recently celebrated its 2nd birthday. It's 300 square meters, and we have 91 local entrepreneurs in that shop. So that's locally yours.
Thank you, Annalise. Thank you. Wonderful story and how it started. Can I call them humble beginnings of the locally, basically started as well here at the tramways.
It was here.
Exactly here.
Exactly here on the 19th of March 2018. We had our very first market. I can tell you, I didn't sleep for days before. If you think you have butterflies, try carrying butterflies for all the entrepreneurs coming with you, because you're asking them to buy into a dream, to something that doesn't exist. I will share with you that we have a database of about 320 local entrepreneurs. And often we get asked for that database, and I can assure you it goes here. Nobody will ever get that database because we have worked so hard to build the local brands. Because what happens is, with all due respect, someone will come to you and they'll promise you the moon and the stars. And then they say, you come to this market, come to this event, come and do this, and we will bring people. And I think, well, unless you're selling tickets, you can't guarantee that. And I'm sure that running an event company, you will second that. And so what happens is that last little bit of capital you've got, you plow into that market and there's no people. And you get there, and in my case, when I first started Calm, I took my own learnings. 50% of the stalls there were jewelry, of which maybe 60% were imported. And it was like, no guys, it doesn't work like that. I didn't come here to market myself. I can stay home and market myself on Facebook for 300 Rand and boost my products. So that's kind of, one has to put your foot down. Just because we're local, you can't pull the blinkers over our eyes. That's important.
Thank you, Annalise. I'd like to, Andre, please, Andre Stewart.
Andrew.
Oh, sorry. Did you say that was your Afrikaans name?
It's fine. It's my Afrikaans name is Andre.
Afrikaans name. Do apologize. Just a brief background as the chairperson of Discovery Mandela Bay, the role that it plays. This is the first time with this event that I've actually known that it exists. So just tell us basically what you do and basically what you could actually even do for entrepreneurs that don't know, well, that know now that you guys are here. Yes.
Thank you, and good evening, everybody. I wear a few hats, but tonight my hat is a tourism hat. I have my own business. I'm also an entrepreneur, started in Gqeberha, I think it was 15 years ago. I brought what I knew from Johannesburg at the time, and I do exhibitions as a business. So I do exhibition infrastructure and layout. That's how I put my child through school. But what I'm passionate about is tourism, and that's why I was invited by Oyama tonight. Recently, you may know that our tourism in the city is under a bit of strain, and it's been under strain since before COVID. COVID just literally almost killed tourism for us. But there has been some difficulties with tourism, and when you have a city like this, you need a company that markets the city properly. And the marketing of the city was done by Nelson Mandela Bay Tourism originally, and they had a whole lot of members who are hotel owners, bed and breakfasts, tourism products, people, reggae charters, the guys that take you on tours, tour guiders, and they were all part of Nelson Mandela Bay Tourism. And when the organization was taken into the metro, the private tourism members felt that they didn't have an organization to belong to. So we have worked very closely together with the tourism department, EDTA, and EDTA holds the tourism brand, Nelson Mandela Bay Tourism. And now we have, as of June this year, started an organization which sits alongside the EDTA, and we renamed it Discover Mandela Bay. So effectively, we are a private organization representing our tourism members. So everybody involved in tourism in the city who owns a private entity, a private hotel, is a member of ours, and we work very closely with the municipality, with the metro, with the department, the EDTA, to try and promote our city. And through that, one of the aspects of promoting our city is markets, is crafts. I work very closely with my colleague Sean van Eck, who has a history of understanding leisure tourism. My background is business tourism, and even that is exciting from what I've seen tonight. I've walked through here probably too quickly, and I get excited by knowing we used to organize, well, not organize, I worked with organizers who do conferences for upwards of 800 to 2,000 people. You can imagine 800, recently we had a conference here called WIOMSA, with 800 delegates coming from overseas. They arrive here, they go on tours, they want to see what's in the region, they want to see what's local, what's happening culturally, but what they really want is a local story. They want to take something with them that is memorable, something from the city itself. And that's why products like these that you're creating are important, and they need to be unique. We don't want what they sell in Johannesburg sold here. We want what's made in Gqeberha to be sold in Gqeberha. So that's what I'm coming from. I'm coming from a private tourism background, and we are very pro what Oyama has begun, and this I know for a fact is just the first of many engagements
definitely.
where we can help take the next step.
I like the sound of that. I like the help part on how these 19 entrepreneurs can actually get on board with Discover Mandela Bay. But it's a conversation we'll carry on having. The relevant information, the where and the how, do they get on board so that they're part of tourists that are coming in?
Can I second that, if you don't mind? Now, actually, I'm very excited. My heart's beating like this. Being 5 years down the road, and having been, we were paying members of tourism, and one doesn't want to knock anything we had to build, not to knock down. So at what stage will you start to include the markets, given that like for us, when we're 5 years down the line and all of that, we're already paying and we represented. And we've got 42 ships docking between now and October next year.
Yeah.
So when is that kicking in? Because I mean, from a market point of view, I'm very excited. When can we expect to be featured?
Well, we are basically working with EDTA. Now, EDTA hold all the funds and all the ability
No,
to
we don't want funds. We just want exposure.
just exposure.
Support.
So we need to market the city. Part of marketing the city is bringing out products, and I would imagine a market would be a product. So what we need to do is we need to sit. Remember, we are driving it from a private tourist business point of view, and we are looking to the city to help us market the city. So with you, I would suggest that we must sit together with the markets. I mean, yourself included, probably one of the foremost regular markets, locally yours, and get a plan. I know with the cruise liners, it's a bit of a challenge, and we've met with some of the cruise liners.
No, well,
They
asked for a 2-year permanent
Yeah.
address. I mean, and you must be a fixed business for
Yeah.
2 years. We did all of those conversations before COVID. That's why I'm very excited to think wonderful opportunity to get these brands out now.
Yeah.
So we're already there. I mean, we're not asking for money or anything. We're just saying, hey,
Exposure.
feature us.
Exposure. Yeah.
I mean, we're already tagging them.
Yeah.
And
Like
some
I say,
of the cruise lines follow us.
we're going to be the go-between. You and the destination marketing company in this city is currently the EDTA. So
Okay.
they market the city. We push the EDTA to bring people to our city. And we meet with our members to get ideas as to why and how that needs to happen. So we are literally in the process of doing that. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. I'd like to move on and then come back to you again,
100%.
Andrew. I'd like for Jonathan from Standard Bank just to
Auntie is fine, eh?
Jonty, just to briefly just take us in depth, especially financially support. What does it take for us small SMMEs to get funding? What are the questions that we're not asking, or the right questions? Why aren't we not complying in getting funding with institutions like yours?
And that's a very good question. Is this mic on?
Can you hear him?
Not. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think it's better.
Great, thanks. Evening, everyone. And this is an awesome platform to connect some of those dots. And such a great question, because one that's not often asked, and such a critical one to be answered. From a financial institution point of view, and I guess I not just represent Standard Bank here, but a bank is a bank, and the criteria, requirements are probably much the same. I think what is missing is information. And as much as what we have got 19 exhibitors here this evening and many other aspiring entrepreneurs, what they don't know is, I just don't walk into a bank and ask for funding. You probably will get the we regret to inform you or declined at source. And it's simply because there's a lack of information. And it could be as simple as, how well you conduct an account, how do you manage your account with us, and I know you alluded to this point on earlier, I think Yama did. We know that startup entrepreneurs don't necessarily have a collateral and assets that you can fall back on. But there are other important things that you can do in managing your business. And when you do that in a way that satisfies the banks, we can then journey with you and come alongside you to grow that business and expand, etc. And I think this is really what it's about this evening as well. I'm in a privileged position where I lead a team of relationship bankers that can partner and come alongside entrepreneurs and take them on their journey and say, this is what you've got, you want to take your product to market, we can then walk with you, guide you. We've got an awesome mentoring. I can maybe talk about that maybe later on if it doesn't come from the audience, but I mean, we've got things like mentorship programs that we run as well. That is maybe a surprise to many because you think, well, it's just a bank. So we don't just provide funding. And sometimes funding is not the only thing that entrepreneurs need. They need information. They need other forms of guidance that they can be assisted on. So I head up a team of relationship bankers. It's a segment called enterprise banking throughout the Eastern Cape. So when we had this opportunity, this ball was passed to me. I caught it, so it's an awesome opportunity just to share this platform. Curious to hear about some of the questions. But it's not just about funding when it comes to the bank. Sometimes funding could not help you. It could worsen a situation as well. So and we need to discuss that, obviously, more in-depthly.
All right, thank you very much. I'd like to turn to you, Mr. Andre. Andre's from the DTIC. Would you please just give us also, it's not, okay. Is it on?
No, it's
I'll
not.
just give you, is it not on? Okay, I'll give you my one. His mic is not working. Okay, in the meantime, let's move to Butsia, Mr. Zondani from Jockey and Horse Agripreneurs. So basically with my knowledge, or basically my association with you, I've got a brief background on what you used to do. And I think the conversation that I'd like to do is to introduce your current position, but as well speak to our entrepreneurs on basically the institutions that you used to work for and the programs. I don't know if you can actually speak on that, but as well just to give advice on the doors that are there that we haven't opened yet, or assistance that we haven't sourced yet.
Okay. Am I audible? Sure, not. Thank you so much, Tommy. And greetings to everyone, Studio Market, the leadership of the MBDA, and everyone who organized this event. It's great to see. I'm from PE, born, bred, and buttered, and all of that. I did everything here. I worked in, and I still am, with the National Youth Development Agency, and I think that's where we know each other from. For quite a long period of time, I've served locally, I've served in the region, I've also served for the NYDA provincially. We've worked on and have assisted with a number of youth-owned businesses, assisting them with funding, assisting them with market access, as well as mentorship and coaching for their businesses. And that has basically been the foreground that has led me also to civil society, where I'm currently also assisting, just to add value, you know, because the Jockey and Horse Agripreneurs is basically just a platform for young people to scale their businesses in agriculture. That's all it really is. And so I wear a number of hats also in that respect. I've also been part of and I'm also the chairperson of the Lovedale TVET College, Seaferry, the Center for Entrepreneurship Rapid Incubator there. Great work being done out in the rural areas there. As we all know, TVET colleges are basically plug and play when it comes to the economy. These young people are skilled in vocational skills and transfer, and then we're able to identify them, link them to markets, and provide the necessary funding as well as business support for them there as well. So I'm glad to be part of this particular session, because under even the Global Entrepreneurship Week, we had access to markets as a big theme. Even with Nelson Mandela University recently, we had moved to market as a big theme underlying. So that's part of my experience, ultimately under youth entrepreneurship, facilitating funding, assisting with business support. I've been part of quite a number of projects, worked with the DTI quite closely, worked with the provincial government, Isikalo Youth Fund, quite extensively. I was in that committee for some time. So I come to this panel with that offering and value add here.
Thank you very much. And then I'll turn to you, Andre, from the DTIC. Basically, what I'd like for you to touch base on, basically, when we get to execute local markets, how do we and when do we explore in entering export markets? I think that's the background I have with you and conversations that we have on being export ready. Would you please just give us, you're working now.
I don't trust this one, so I'll try yours. Hi, good evening. I think they saved the most boring for last. I think before I get into what the DTI does, I think here's a kind of a curve, if you would allow. It's that I started out 27 years ago, as an SMME. So firstly, when it comes to the challenges of starting a business, We started a small company, small clothing company that grew to become Cape Storm. I don't know if you know the brand. That started in a garage in Vredehou, Cape Town. 2 seamstresses, 1 pattern designer. Look where it is now. Second company, then I moved from there, I moved into policy. And I think this is working with agencies. I don't know if you remember, if you know the Cape Town Design Institute, Cape Town Film Institute. That's the research work we've done to set those institutions up. It's a long play. How many years later? I find myself at DTI now. I think I've been the whole circle from a startup. I started up internationally. I crashed and burned in Canada, terrible places. But I think those lessons are important as a startup, especially when it comes to market access. I know what it's like not to have money. I know what it's like literally sleeping outside 4 ways more, trying to get our clothing into a shop. No, we've done it all. So now that I am here, it's like that Tumi will walk to my door, it's never a no, it's a discussion. Where do we go from here? Because I know what we do, right? Yes, I can go on to the nice things we do. Oh, we do finance, we do market access, we do all the nice things. But to me, I'll never sit and say it's an easy walk. It's a fight. And I think the fight comes from you too. And I think this is what I enjoy. How many times we found 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, it's about, do you have the same fire for it? Because with that, then we can do the nice things. Oyama, let's put a group together, take them out. City, put them on the map. We got funding for that. I think that's why I don't want to touch on it, because that to me, it's the easy part of things. But to me, it's always, we've got 19 entrepreneurs. First thing I would always ask you, what's your capacity? What's this? What's your market? I work backward. Because I think you said you need to satisfy the banks. And I think that's for the last 24 months, where my focus has been, fine. Seeing that finance is not an issue when it comes to us, access to markets is. And I think this is where we come in. The markets connections we have, SPAR, locally, internationally, that's easy, it means nothing to me. But it means a lot to other businesses. And I think this is where, to us, it's not about, let me keep all this to ourselves. You just say, look, you know what? Tell me what you want. And I think that's a very difficult question. I ask, the first SMS, not SMS, sorry, the first SME is I always ask, so what do you want from us?
Yeah.
No. You should know. And you should be able to say, you know what? This one is difficult. This is what I want. I want SPAR, I want this, and I want international. Great. Now I know what my work cut out. Easy. Let's go. Right? And I think these are the kind of conversations I'd like to continue. It's not about, you would know I don't go much into policy. I don't go much into this is the guidelines, the process. Leave that for last. Let's get the fundamentals right first. And I think that's where we come in, DTI funding, market access, business readiness, export development. Before you can jump on a plane, there's a lot to do before we go there. And I think that's the journey that excites me. After all these years, it's still every new engagement I learn. And I think that's the approach I take, and I'm looking forward to continuing this conversation with everybody. Thanks.
I want to add to that, and it couldn't be truer. The fact that I haven't physically stepped outside of war, we've all been in that position. Yeah. And I think that's where the value gets added. And you want to try and help the other people. There's always 2 things that happen at the beginning of a year. And one is new brands are born and new people start markets. And they promise you the world. And it's interesting, we say go. But when you've got a network like we have, there's a lot of talk that happens behind the scenes. And they ask each other, have you been there? Have you done that? Who's the person? Whatever. And they're like, no, we're not going to go there. So it's quite important to understand the value of that network. But the one thing I want to say that really, really we need to look at locally, and you can see it here, is that what really upsets me, and Oyama knows, he gets very angry emails from me. I have got that moment, and I still flip to a GP number plate. It was there long enough. Is when someone takes the Eastern Cape and puts it into a box, and they push us 40 years back to what should be put in front of a person. Look at the brands here tonight. And then you see the initiative, and you think, no, guys, There's so many other things you could be exposing tourists to. Why is the shop at the airport not carrying the local brands? Why not? Why are they leaving with things that are made in ... Why? Why do we not have that? I don't understand that. Why are local shops, if you talk local, why has the economy not maybe turned around and said, you need to put 5% of the brands in your shop must be a local product?
Alice, talking about that why, this conversation really I would like to have with our audience and especially our entrepreneurs. As I said when this journey started, it was definitely not about me only. I would have loved to be the voice, the vessel to bring it here, but the most important people that are here tonight are really our entrepreneurs, and they the people that know the whys and what and when they would like to ask our panelists. So I'm literally going to step down, randomly pick an entrepreneur, they'll forgive me, but I'd like them to have the conversation on really what it is that we want as entrepreneurs, how we would get it, and all the whys. I'll start with Veronica. The floor is yours and the stage is yours to please just a couple of words. As an entrepreneur, your products, what your products are basically, where you're at right now and where you would like to see yourself with this journey, part with the MBDA and the studio market, where would you like to take it? And basically, the questions you haven't had answers, they need to answer tonight.
Hello everyone, can you hear me? Basically, I started Green Ferry as a passion project. I was in, wasn't expecting to have to speak. I was in holistic therapy for more than 15 years, and then moving to Port Elizabeth, I took on an admin job. So I started Green Ferry as a sideline passion project because I wanted to use more natural products for myself and my children, and it just grew from there. So the beginning of 2021, I started doing Green Ferry full time. I sell soaps, skincare and hair care products, and I want to keep it as close to nature as possible. So basically, the biggest challenge when it comes to obviously being a small business is maybe route to market. So getting your products out there, maybe turnover of product, getting enough cash flow in to obviously keep the business going, basically, while still paying the bills, right? Yeah.
I'll take one more. That was Veronica. I'll give this one to Kwande Craft Gin, and then we'll have the panel answer.
Hey, Tumi. Okay, thank you, Tumi. No, I think mine is not to ask questions, but to thank everyone for organizing such an event. I think we need more of this. Within us, we're quite diverse as people. When we created Ikwande, just like the gentleman was talking about, you know, when you go abroad to other countries, you get a taste of or the feel of the city. So on the website, we actually tell more about the product, what it is. But my revelation was when I landed at Mexico Airport, I could actually see and feel the culture, you know, of the country. Unlike us in South Africa, I think the three dominant products, whenever I landed back coming from abroad, it's always been Samsung, Huawei, and the four rings. You know, so we exist purely to change that. You know, when someone comes to South Africa, let them take something that is uniquely South African with them. And having said that, amongst us, we are unique. I think there's more platform and opportunities even amongst us to learn about each other, because the issue of hair products with nature, there's a lot of us that are sick and we don't understand why, because in Genesis they talk about the herbs, but we're moving further from the herbs and we again finding healing. So I just want to thank you guys. I'm not going to ask any question. Sure.
Does anyone on the panel like to answer the first question from Veronica, please?
Won't you just repeat that question again?
Access to market.
Access to markets. So if I can just say this, there's something that's I've been thinking about. It might not be the correct answer to this exact question, but looking through all the products that are here, all 19, there isn't one specific market for each of these products. So if I'm about to, what I'm about to say is the fact that your product, for instance, is sort of a crossover between hospitality and tourism. So you could actually market your products, your soaps and things, to tourists as well as to the hospitality industry. There's some here, the periwinkle, who would be ideal to be approaching the hospitality industry alone. The gins are guaranteed sort of the tourist market. So there's not one solution for all the products here. So being an entrepreneur, knowing what your brand is, you would need to identify whether it's a tourism product or a hospitality product. And then the other thing, which I just, going on from what that gentleman from Kwando is saying, is that a really powerful tool in any marketing of your product is collaborating with partners, finding partners in the industry. So if your product is a tourism product, for instance, you might want to get on board with one of the hotels and collaborate with them and make your brand their brand. They're already going to be hosting international guests, and if they've got your product in their facility, you're exposed. Annelies was talking about the markets. That's a whole new product on its own. We need to sell markets as a product. It's its own product. So we have to up our game, get our airports to put our products into the airports. We need a lot more collaboration with
more locally,
the
your
EDTA
shops.
to more shops. There is such potential, but once again, not all the products that are here are going to match the tourism market, and some will be crossovers. So that's my take on that. Yeah.
May I add something for it? Yama, I don't know if you've shared the news yet. So when Yama spoke to me about the evening, I'm not a PowerPoint girl. Please don't call me to meetings, because I'm going to say no. I don't have time. Daytime is playtime. We make money work. I'm an entrepreneur. So for the gin people, you don't know this yet, but there's an event that we've put together for you. Do you know about that?
No, we don't.
Oh, good. So there you go. You will be having an event early in the new year. Oyama will share that. It's already sorted. Unfortunately, at Locally Yours, we don't have a liquor license, and if we were still at the tramways, we could have done something. However, we've already put the wheels in motion. So there's a big, nice surprise coming for you at the beginning of 2023.
Lovely.
And then for the crafters, I'm very proud to share that some of them are already joining us at the Christmas market next week. I also want to tell you, Locally Yours is not just a market. We're a conversation. So we currently have corporates who get all our new products. We deal with the spa buyers. We deal with some of the spa owners. So where the red tape is that we've discovered over 5 years, we've left it. It's one sticky bubblegum mess. We don't go there. We go where the people are serious to support local, and the rest come on board. Because bear in mind, there are some businesses that are very competitive that are also owned by, that are part of a franchise but owned by entrepreneurs, and they want a competitive edge. So Yama knows. My favorite saying, daytime is playtime. I don't have time for death by PowerPoint. If it's a meeting, I promise you I'm going to send you a sick note. I don't like meetings. So good news to the gin people, and welcome to the people joining us at the Locally Yours market next week. It's all happening already. That's how you go to market.
Thank you, Annelies. I'd like to take another question from G. There you go.
Thank you. Good evening. I'd like to pose my question to Annelies and Sia, or anyone who can assist me on this one. I'm from J Bravura. We are manufacturing all leather products, bags, wallets, and everything. But now, as the passion that we don't have all the skills, like the marketing skills we don't have. We can do as many, but to get them out there to bought by the clients. We don't. But we do have many clients that we get through word of mouth, WhatsApps and everything. But we would like to expand, sell online and everything, but those skills we don't have. So I think we're growing so slow than we want to, just because we don't have the skill of marketing. So how can we, or how can you assist, or how can you advise us on that side? How can we do it?
Sorry, sis, I didn't get what do you sell?
Leather products, belts,
Handbags.
wallets, handbags. We have handbags that are made of solid wood and leather, different products, but it's leather products.
Okay. Well, for me, it depends on exactly what type of market you're looking for. So the type of business you're doing is out there. I've seen quite a number of entrepreneurs who are actually doing the type of thing you're doing. The question then becomes, what are they doing in the space and how can you do it differently? I honestly don't believe, as a young person yourself, that you don't have the skill to sell online. Amongst yourselves, you have to find that. Ultimately, that will become one of your better selling points. And then secondly, exposing yourself to a market like these helps quite a great deal. That can be quite something that can add value to you. But I'm concerned about the lack of marketing expertise you mentioned, because to bring on an expert in marketing then would cost your business money, whereas you could perhaps potentially do it in-house from your own employees or from your own skill set to really find space within social media, all these other platforms, to really push your product. But I think since your products are a touch and feel type of a product, like myself, I enjoy belts, I love wallets, but I need to feel them. I need to understand, is this the type of quality I'm looking for? Expos such as these ones could help you a great deal. Speaking to experts such as the ones who are here on this particular platform could help you a great deal as well. And then maybe just get a few tips and hints from other entrepreneurs within the space on how better can we market our product without having to bring on someone and have to pay for that. We're all exposed to that. You can go on YouTube, look at markets and strategies as it relates to marketing your particular product. But I think you've got something good, and I'd love to see it, have a look at it, have a feel for it. But I think for that particular product, definitely have a conversation with some of the people here. Don't leave without having those answers, all those questions answered.
Thank you.
From a locally yours point of view, you would join, which you've done already now on the market side, but the shop side is very different. We've got chat groups, and it's a very close little family. So what people do is they share expertise, they give you guidance, and they help each other within the group. From a locally yours perspective, I've already had 1 or 2 conversations with people here this evening to make a few suggestions and a few tweaks. Remember, my background is getting the consumer to buy your brand. So it's in my interest. We're not there to bring stockers into the shop to pay rent. We're there for you to make money. And if your brand's not moving, either we're doing something wrong or the consumer doesn't want your brand. So we constantly have to evolve. And that's why we look for brands like yours, and which is why we've invited you. So bear in mind also, we would never, if we were not that committed to small business, we would never have been blessed with a sponsorship from Algoa FM. That is a very, very big local voice to put behind a concept like locally yours.
Thank you very much. Are you done? Okay, let me just go to the audience quickly. I saw a hand here somewhere.
It was a hand here.
Okay, you're good. Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry, it was
There, one, all right.
etc., etc. So we shouldn't take that for granted. The bank doesn't solely play in that space. We obviously want to make sure that they are able to get you fund ready, because by the time that your business takes off, you want to start growing and scaling, that you have ticked all the boxes before then. That's the first point. The second comment I just want to make in terms of access to markets, and this is something that Standard Bank does. We've got a Simply Blue, I think Sia just made the online comment earlier. But I think we've learned a lot from COVID, and people don't just walk into a shop anymore. They are now, using the smartphones and shopping on a device for a particular product. They want the convenience of having a product delivered. Our Simply Blue solution actually helps an entrepreneur set up an online shop. So that is one of the things that we can maybe talk about afterwards in terms of how to take your product to market as well. And then the second point I just wanted to add is that our BizConnect site assists with the coaching. If you don't know how to market, we've got a team of experts that is able to, through webinars, etc., take you through how to take your product and do marketing, etc. So those are some of the points that we can maybe discuss after the session as well, but there's some value add there from the bank side.
Thank you. Let me just introduce myself. I'm Dr. Fig. I did my thesis on the development of SMMEs. So after listening to all these interesting suggestions and needs of these entrepreneurs, I thought, let me just speak. So the points that are made by the entrepreneurs for marketing and access, I think they're valid points. And yourself, Standard Bank, NIDA, and DTI, they've got an important role to play. The problem with these services that are offered is that they cost. Now with startups, as we know, that 90% of startups fail. And the reason for that is because they don't have access to funds, that's a so they have to use their own funds. And secondly, they don't have that free support. That is where the problem is. They need the support that, for example, in the probably workshops, etc., and that will assist them. And it's an important point. The lady is correct, the entrepreneur. Marketing is a skill not for everybody. So it's not a matter of just saying, I've got a product. Most of these entrepreneurs I've walked through here, all 19 of them, they've got very good products. But if they can't get to the market, they're going to fail. So that support is needed, but for free. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I'll take two more. I'll take one from the audience. Well, there's another one. 3, and 1 business at the back. So we can have an open floor, mingle more with the entrepreneurs at the back. Maybe some of them are a little bit just shy. They'll come and approach you individually to further on the conversation.
Can I make one point?
Sure.
And
Sorry,
I'm not going to point out who the entrepreneur is, but there is an entrepreneur sitting here this evening that approached us last year to join us, and it's to your point. I'm sorry, it's Doctor. I didn't get your name. The person was in a situation, wanted to come in, limited funds, no photographs, because we represent the brand the way it should be represented. I don't know, if you have a look at the Local Yours adverts, we really herald the brand. Local Yours isn't a brand. We're nothing without the brands that are in our shop or at our market. And I personally took home the person's products, styled them and photographed them, and sent it back. And that's to your point. That's why I say, when you've walked that path, you understand when you add value and when you need to ask for finance. And that is why Local Yours is committed. The Boyo can attest to that, and so can Ayama. Because sometimes we all have to help each other. Unfortunately, there are costs involved, but what we try to do is get them to the point where they're earning a form of income so that they then can afford those programs, because logically that is the next step. That is the next step. So we help them until they're ready to be handed over.
Sorry, can I? Oh, it's working. Can I just make a point here quickly? Can I just make a point here on when we speak this market access, right? We can say what we can do, but I'm throwing it back at the audience. Here's gin, here's organics, here's various. What are we doing as entrepreneurs to align ourselves with our industry bodies? For example, there's the, each of you, there's the Organic Gin Grower Association, just as an example. The reason why I say that is that those organizations, some of them are free, some of them are minimal. Those are sources of information that's relevant to you. So you can be part of and say, you know what, we want to be at the New York Gin Week. Then it's easy for me because you've done the work, you've identified where you want to go. Secondly, I know these things cost money, but there's two aspects to what the DTI can do. If we work closely, for example, with MBDA, we have something that assists emerging exporters, whether it's locally, or we're going to have a showcase, for example, at Design in Daba, Design for Living. DTI pays your flights, your hotels, your samples, and marking material. I think every year, for the last 7 years, if we had 2 missions leaving this town, that's great. That's how poor it is. Whereas Cape Town's 85, Joburg 105, where are we going wrong? Is it the lack of interest? Is it the lack of information? Or, I'm not going to go to back now, but looking forward. I think there are opportunities, but it's more, I wouldn't say I think it's for us to come towards each other. And I think this is a big focus of where we are working on. That falls under the market access, where we can say even, yes, a group of 19, I need maximum 20 guys. Okay, where are we going? How are we packaging it? And I think this is the kind of conversations we would like to have. I'm putting my head on the block here, in that this year is another year. We haven't sent a mission out, and I don't know why. I know there's a lot of work to be done. You know, yes, it sounds all nice. Oh, DTI is paying for everything. 1, what's your business plan? 2, what have you done to push your business? We can do everything for you. So it's a kind of a partnership for you. And I think this is the kind of conversations and journeys we going forward. I mean, the year's not done. We market every year on our website, our national pavilions, globally across all sectors. We cover 19 sectors, right? Within, and coming back to your industry associations, your leather, textiles, your organics, all of them basically supposed to represent all our provinces. Every year, conspicuous by its absence is the Eastern Cape. 7 years now. So unless Western Cape is short, then they can borrow guys here. Already, you know, anybody that can fill a place here. And I'm thinking we don't actually need to do that. We've got a lot of talent here. Yes, 300 through local years. Yes, 19 year plus who's not here. And I'm thinking yes, we have absolutely no reason why we can't have an MBDA branded event. Or what? No, I can't think of a logical reason why we haven't. And I think maybe Oyama, I think this is where we need to start having now real, not plans, talks about talks. How are we going to do this and put times and dates to it?
I want to echo what you're saying, and you begin with the end in mind. Oyama and I had a difficult conversation about 2 weeks ago. And I said to him, because he said, you know, he gets so annoyed sometimes because you do all this work for people and then they don't respond. The fact of the matter is, because the brand is there, it doesn't mean you've arrived. You haven't even left the departure hall. Your journey is just starting. So, but when you begin with the end in mind and you understand where you want to go to, that's when we can say to you, okay, now we can help you with that part of the journey. But we need to understand where you want to go to, because every one of us has a different role to play at different times. So that's quite important. So I hope that's addressed the question. Let me just add to that. When you come to a local yours market and you apply, for those of you that know, the first thing we ask you is give us a picture of your stand. And tell us your brand, but tell me your story. Your story is more important to me than your brand. And we've got a team of people that look at the brands. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to help you with your display. We need to get it up. There's a very big difference between handmade and homemade. We all start with homemade, where we want to get times a biggish step for people. It could be how you display your products or whatever, but the story is important because the brand's got an identity. And as I said to you already this evening, with the people joining us, we've had a few quick conversations as to how things can be changed.
Yeah, because I'd love to continue those conversations.
It costs nothing. It costs absolutely
definitely
nothing to help the person to the next level. Nothing.
Just to take 2 questions, because I think the most important part of the evening is the expo, and to put on 2 questions. I'll let you have your questions directly with the panelists afterwards.
Okay, thank you very much. They take their brands into the airport so that maybe international tourists, whenever they actually maybe walk through those products, they may be attracted to those products because it's like handmade leather that is made out of wood. So it's basically like it is an African element into it. So I think we take lightly the essence of marketing, and it goes back to what Andrew had said. We first need to advertise the city into the tourists. And then that's when our brands and the local economy will be seen and visible. So I think what's mostly important is the visibility of their brands that are being produced locally in Port Elizabeth. And if you tell me that they can just like advertise products on social media, they may not even make something valuable about advertising their products on social media, because also we have to look into the target market. That's also an important element, an important variable that we should take into consideration. Thank you very much.
What brand do you make? What product do you make? Bags and wallets. Okay. So if you went to John T. and John T. helps you to facilitate a PayPal account, you can go straight into Etsy, to Amazon, and to take a lot while we try to get the tourists here. This is what I'm saying to you.
Yep.
There's quick wins. You shouldn't have to wait for those meetings.
Absolutely.
That's how it works.
We'll have one last question from Amish, from our entrepreneurs, and then I will have the audience please go to...
Good evening. My name is Amanda Nyoka. I'm the director of Amish Beauty and Glamour Pty Ltd. We are a manufacturing business specializing in the beauty and cosmetics. So we manufacture a skincare product called Amish Healthy Skin, we do market our product and we do receive good reviews about our product, but our current challenge is to get customers' trust. So at this point, we do have a quotation from subs, because I did approach Clicks when it comes to getting our product into the shelves. We're busy with the proposal. But the challenge now is for our product to get trust from a customer, because I won't be there to market my product. So last year in June, we had an opportunity to be selected to go and market our product in Ethiopia, to participate in the selling mission program that was happening there. And we're also busy with another application, because we also got another opportunity to participate in the international program to market our product. And currently we're in a process of getting our export license from SARS. So I humbly ask and request from Standard Bank, is there a way or a procedure that we can follow in order to get funds to pay for our quotation from subs? It is 17,840. So that is our current challenge at this moment, because I do market my product. Marketing a product is not a problem. The problem is to be trusted by the customer. We can get a best influencer that have a huge number of followers, but if a product like a skincare range don't have a label, subs label, something that shows it is approved, it is tested, you can use this, you can trust us. So at this point, we hope that by the time we get to participate in this international selling mission, at least we'll have the one approved label in our product. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amish. Standard Bank, John T., did you get that?
Yes, I did. I think it's going to be important for us to just understand the details. Obviously, I can't respond from this platform here without understanding everything in regards to the request, but maybe just afterwards we can just have a better understanding of the request.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm really going to open the floor right now so that you have at least another hour, an hour and a half to engage with the entrepreneurs, and also just the importance with assistance with the missions. I just want to go back to what Andre was talking about. I'm one with one of the missions, and they literally paid for everything. It's one organization that's really said that came through for me, because we knock and we kick so many doors down. So I would like the entrepreneurs to please engage with him so you can take the process of being ready, market ready, export ready. Because they were very supportive in supporting me in my mission. I've literally closed off the Q's and A's, but I'd really like the panel to continue these conversations. There's more questions I think that people have, and they'll probably be more comfortable in having them on a one-on-one basis, me included. So ladies and gentlemen, can you please take the time, please open your wallets widely. Our entrepreneurs are literally waiting for you. Local is lekker, and I'll give the mic just quickly over to Oyama to do our closing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you to me. Thank you to the panel. I won't be long. I need a Bulali. Bulali, where are you? Quick one. I'll be very quick. I promise you. Bulali. Asanda, Zoleka. Where's my team? I need you. Come. It's sure. It's very important that I do this. I'm sorry. Andisa, yes. Who's Zoleka? I'll be very quick. I'm going to be very quick. Normally, if vote of thanks, there's a protocol observed, but tonight we're not observing any protocol, whether the seniors are in the room or not. On behalf of the team, this is the team that makes things possible. I can dream all I want. These are the guys that make things happen and make things look as amazing as things look now. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. It's been very stressful for us to then pull this off. To Bulali, this is probably my last dance with you. Cuts deep. Me and you know what I mean by that. Thank you so much, Siswam. I could not have done this without you. You've been amazing. Thank you for the inspiration you are. She's the lady behind everything I do. Everything which happens on the MBDA that you see on paper, you see online, that's Bulali for you. She captures the essence. I don't have to overtell the story to Bulali. She gets it the minute that I speak to her. The marketing team, Andy Swa, Asanda Zoleka, who's not here, thank you so much for helping me to pull this off. And to me and you come a long way. Like many others in the room that I meet, and I journey with each and every one of you, Annalise, Andre. If I can write a book about people I've met and the impact I've made on people's lives, and I can even say that. I can say that. It's amazing to see them grow. It's amazing to see how you've grown, how young you were when I met you, where you are now. So thank you for those who've come. Thank you to the entrepreneurs who responded to the call. I know it's tiring when you are called to come and exhibit. You're not too sure. It's another talk shop. It's another one of those things that we go through every single day. Thank you for responding to the call. It's happening again next year in March. I'll speak to my managers and my CFOs and my CEOs and all the other O's in the building to make sure that it does happen. It continues to grow. So please do enjoy. There's food. I'm sure Asanda will take you through what's going to happen on the food section. But please, most importantly, go meet the entrepreneurs, have a conversation, and buy, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to Oyama. As an entrepreneur, to other entrepreneurs, please, Betunana, I know some of us are running literally on fumes. So I've literally wanted to throw in the towel numerous times. I'd like to thank the MBDA as a team. They've literally taken the studio market vision in my head, and this is what you see right here. And I'm really grateful for collaboration. I'm excited that we're going to continue having these. And as we grow with the MBDA as a studio market and the entrepreneurs at the back, we'll have more engaging. But I want results. I think most of us have attended these 100 times and you go home and you're still lost. You don't know where to turn. So let's please continue having these conversations, attend more of them, support local entrepreneurs, and I'll close it off with a thank you, and please people engage. And again, anyway, spend. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Okay. Oh.
They showed you. Learn, learn, learn. Wait, oh, wait. Wait, oh, wait. Wait, oh, wait. On good loving. You need to learn to wait, oh, wait. Wait, oh, wait. Wait, oh, wait, oh, on good love. Don't rush me, you might crush me. Don't be in a hurry, you won't get there alright. Walk too fast, you run too fast for something that's not right. Take your time and just look inside your heart. Hold yourself and look inside. I'm speaking to you. Oh, open up, I'm your God, and I'm speaking to you. Out of love, just learn to wait. Oh, wait. Just learn to wait before I walk outside that gate. Learn to be patient. Good things come for those who can wait. Ooh, learn to be patient. Good things come for those who wait, not those who wait too late. I hope you get the bait. Wait on, wait on, wait on, wait on, wait. Need you to learn to wait. Wait on good loving. All I need is you learn to wait on, would you stay? Darling, would you stay with me? With me, 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 yeah. With me, with me, with me. I've been through this so many times. Someone claiming that they love me, just to leave me all alone, hanging in the dark. I hope that you're different, and you get to take care of my heart. Oh my love, I know the pain of being hurt. Now I'm sitting singing, could you be mine forever? I hope you can treat me better. Could you be mine forever? Look in my heart, you might find a way. So darling, would you stay? Darling, would you stay with me? So darling, would you stay? Darling, would you stay with me? Could you be mine forever? Could you be mine? I hope you can treat me better. Could you be mine forever? Forever, my love, my way. So darling, would you stay? Darling, would you stay? With me? So darling, would you stay? Oh no, oh darling, would you stay with me? With me, 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 with me. Can you still dream and see? Do you remember how long it has been? Do you understand otherwise that life needs you to sacrifice something? fire that burnt in your soul? Or has it been blown by the wind? Blown by the wind and gone. Taken away from you, blown by the wind. Blown by the wind and gone. Would you bring me back the life that was blown by the wind and gone? Would you bring me back that life that's blown by the wind and gone? Wake my spirit, wake the spirit in my life. Wake the spirit in my life. Bring the heat in my life. Bring the heat in my life. I wanna know my soul. I wanna know my soul. Feel my soul. Feel the depths of my soul. Wake the spirit in my life. Wake it, wake it, wake it. Bring the heat in my life. Bring the heat in my life. Know my soul. Know my soul. Trouble, would you get off my back? Get off my back. Trouble, please, would you get off my back? Would you get off my back? Struggle.